Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy NewJaq, and I'm back again with another video. And today I just want to talk about my wish list for NBA Live 19. I definitely think EA Sports is on the right track, and I can't wait till NBA Live 19 drops. 'Cause I know that game's gonna make a lot of noise. It's gonna make some people turn their heads. How NBA Live used to be back in the day. And even though these past few years the NBA Live franchise hasn't been great, I definitely could say that NBA Live 18 and going forward, it's definitely a reboot. It doesn't feel like the past previous NBA Lives. Everybody knows that, 2K is definitely on top as a top basketball game, in the world. But NBA Live, in my honest opinion, I think they can probably dethrone them in 19. But moving on to the title of this video, here's a few things I would like to see in the next release. Starting off, I want to talk about my player mode, which is called the League in this game. I can also throw the franchise mode in this section as well because they're both very similar. I feel like the League needs more depth to it other than, just playing 82 games throughout the season. This game might not have a crazy storyline or, like cutscenes how 2K has, but, I like what they did with the first take segment. I wish they would have probably added more scenes to it, building up your character. I would have liked to see a little bit more character development other than outside of, the backstory of a character. Hopefully in 19 they actually add a little bit more to where you can your character is a little bit more interesting. There are a few games throughout the season where the commentary, Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen, they mention you a few times, but, throughout the season, the 82 games, you're not really getting any excitement from, wanting to play the franchise mode or the league. And the main reason why I actually played the league was so I can actually max out to level 50, so that way I can be able to access, the higher crates. And I will say, getting your league rep to level 50 is actually a very long grind, but you got to do it to actually, unlock the Kobe shoes, the Jordans, the LeBrons, certain Nike shoes. So, outside of actually, getting my league rep up so I can actually get those crates, I didn't see no other reason to actually play the league. And I'm not saying that the league is 100% boring, but I just wish that it was a little bit more depth into it so that way, it can keep you coming back to actually want to play it. I really enjoyed, the league when the game first came out, before I actually did the grind, but, I really like the ESPN presentation. It actually looks like you're watching an ESPN game. I like the commentary, Mike Breen and Jeff Van Gundy. One thing I did hate about the commentary though is that I do feel like, I feel like there weren't that many lines in the game. You played maybe a half a season and you pretty much already heard everything, as far as the commentary goes. Two things I didn't really like about the commentary though was, for one, I felt like there were a lot of times where it seemed like they were actually reading scripted lines. You can kind of tell that they were acting. They weren't really, commentating on the actual basketball game. That's actually one aspect where I feel like, 2K is way above NBA Live as far as commentary goes. Because 2K, they had the same commentaries for the past, years, so they're actually very natural to actually doing this type of stuff. Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, they've only been doing it for a few years, so they're probably not used to it. But, I think NBA Live 19, they definitely should, give them more lines or even add Mark Jackson to it. I think Mark Jackson will be a huge addition to NBA Live 19, because whenever you watch an ESPN game, you always hear those three talk. It's rare, you only hear, Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen. Whenever I hear Mike Breen, commentate, this is what I want to hear right here.
Knicks down three. Should the Bulls foul? No. Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down. Then the game is tied.
When I'm playing NBA Live 18, and I hear those guys commentate, I don't get that excitement for, Mike Breen. I get a guy who's actually, reading a script. It doesn't seem like he's actually commentating the game. He's just reading a bunch of lines. When Carmelo Anthony hit that shot, it was a big deal for the Knicks. The commentators are very live. They reacted how they should have reacted. The crowd reacted how they should have as well. So, hopefully NBA Live 19 that they actually, give the commentators a little bit more freedom.
Mike Woodson not calling timeout. And I like that move. In the hands of Anthony. Anthony for three. Puts it in. Knicks by one with 8.2 remaining.
Alright, and now I want to talk about the Wall Street mode. And my honest opinion of it, I think it's really good. You know, I don't have any complaints for it, other than outside of, you know, a lot of players don't know what they're doing as far as, you know, when I play online, you know, my teammates they never play their role what they're supposed to be doing. You know, very often, you know, I run into a lot of point shooters, you know, their job is to, you know, create their own shot, you know, shoot 3-pointers, you know, they got good handles. But instead, you know, a lot of them like to try to go to the hole and try to do a layup, you know, on somebody who's 7 feet. You know, and I also run into a lot of rim protectors who, you know, is supposed to be getting rebounds, you know, set screens, you know, get a lot of easy layups. But a lot of them like to, you know, try to shoot jumpers and shoot a lot of 3-pointers. And I think a lot of that has to do to the fact that, you know, in previous years in 2K, you know, you can get away with a lot of stuff like that. You know, but I think people are really starting to realize that NBA Live is its own game. You know, you cannot compare NBA Live to 2K today, because it's two completely different games, you know, two different play styles. So, yeah, back in the day you probably could, you know, go to the hole with a point shooter, you know, and just make layups and even dunk the ball, you know, all day. But not in this game, you know, that's not going to happen. I really do hope in the next NBA Live, though, that they actually come up with a system to where you can probably actually kick players, because, you know, more often than not, you know, I run into a lot of players who actually are just idle. You know, they're not even playing, they're not even probably not even by their console. So, you know, most of the time that's like an automatic loss for us. You know, that's going to leave one person open. But, you know, outside of that, you know, I really did like the street mode. I hope that the developers actually continue to make live strike crates. You know, when they first, you know, brought, you know, Pink Dolphin, you know, Babe, Undefeated, you know, stuff like that. You know, that was actually pretty cool, you know. Stuff like that you don't actually get to see in 2K. So, you know, it was kind of cool to see it in this game. I just wish that they actually would have probably had, you know, made the crates a little bit more exclusive. You know, the trailer does say rare today, going tomorrow, but at the same time, you know, a lot of those crates eventually made their way back as a limited time. You know, but I wish they would have just kept it how it was. You know, if you missed out, you know, on that particular day for, you know, a pair of shorts, you know, sweats or a sweater or whatever, you know, you just missed out on it forever. A couple more things I want to touch up on before I end this video is the different stadiums and parks in this game. You know, it was pretty cool to be able to play in a Drew League. You know, we have never seen that in a basketball game before. You know, being able to play at Rucker Park, you know, Venice Beach, you know, that adds a different uniqueness to this game. I also liked how some of the parks gave you, you know, like a little bit of background and history of, you know, some of the legends I used to play at that location.
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talent like Wilt the Stilt and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park.
I think that's pretty unique that they did that. You know, in NBA Live 19, I think they should add a little bit more parks. You know, bring these back as well, you know, so that way we can have a little bit more variety. And the last thing I want to touch upon before I end this video is I hope NBA Live 19 implements the Frostbite engine. You know, NBA Live 18 has very good graphics. You know, I don't really have any complaints about them. But just imagine if they had the Frostbite engine. And those that aren't familiar with the Frostbite engine, that's what Battlefield uses. You know, Battlefield's been using that for years. And actually, I can show you better than I can tell you. Now, just imagine if NBA Live's graphics look like this. Now, everybody talks about how good 2K graphics are. Now, just imagine if NBA Live 19 was to use a Frostbite engine and have the graphics looking like that. The graphics would be 10 times better than 2K. But with that being said, you guys, you know, that's going to be it for the video. You know, that's pretty much my wish list for NBA Live 19. You know, I think NBA Live 18 was, you know, a damn good game. You know, I played the hell out of it, you know, until I got burnt out. But, you know, I'm already looking forward to NBA Live 19. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna reveal something at E3 coming up. You know, within the next, I think E3 is in a few weeks in June. So, you know, I can't wait. You know, hopefully they also come out with a beta or a demo like they did with, you know, NBA Live 18. But, you know, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I want to thank everybody that's been, you know, showing a lot of support to me. You know, all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. You know, I appreciate every single one of you. You know, I'm definitely, like I said in my last video, I'm gonna be bringing a lot of future content to you guys. So make sure, you know, rate the video, give it a thumbs up. You know, comment, give me some feedback how I can improve, or, you know, just show love in general. You know, like I said, I appreciate everybody. So with that being said, you know, this is NewJaq, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.
Thank you.